I want to talk about the What Women Want campaign. It all kicked off with an installation in St. George's Mall. I was there, you were there. There's a huge box that's there, and women can come and write their words and draw pictures on the installation to say what they want. Shelley, what kind of response have you had to that?
It's been phenomenal, actually. It's an installation as a gift for women. It's a gift box, in essence. And through the research where we sent out this question to over 5,000 women in South Africa, where we asked to encapsulate in one word for them what women want. And we've kind of positioned all the words in different categories, and we came out with 30 core words, which revolved a lot around success, recognition, equality, opportunity, some very cool words which were constantly repeated. And so those words are displayed on the box, and then we have the space for other women to come and write their words on the box. But you do find that they are quite repeated. So we can see that there is a very clear indication of what these words are and what we're kind of striving for and looking for, especially about respect, autonomy, which are globally words that I think would come out. We're running a great competition alongside with this, which is another gift for women, for us to nominate who for us in our business network or within our friends and family, who represents a power female, and some fantastic prizes which we'll be handing out in November, over 500,000 rounds worth of prizes. Wow. So get onto the website, get onto Facebook and enter and nominate your power female.
Kate, what was your word?
My word was freedom. And obviously this means a lot to different people. I mean, it could be financial freedom, which I see a lot in my day-to-day work, but also just freedom to express yourself and really just be yourself.
Now you work with money, you work in finances. Yes. In your experience, what do women want when it comes to their financial situation?
It's a very difficult question to answer. I must admit, looking at my book of clients, less than 10% of my clients are women. So it's very difficult to find out what they want and obviously deal with them in that way. I do find that meeting with women, they are far more cautious and maybe a little bit defensive to take advice from someone that they've just met. Compared to men who have been dealing with finance all most of their lives or taught by their father or grandfather. And I really think that the answer to this is there are three questions which I always look at. Make sure that you find the right financial advisor. And how do you do that? Well, first of all, I think it's very important that financial advisors are independent. They're not tied to one company. And so essentially you won't be a round peg in a square, you know, or a square peg in a round hole. And very importantly, here in South Africa, financial services providers have to be registered with the Financial Services Board. So make sure that the company you're working with is registered, is licensed, and obviously can give you the advice that you're looking for. And that comes from the financial advisor. You need to make sure that the financial advisor is qualified to give you the information you're looking for. And really that comes from what they've studied, education.
I want to speak about your business. What would you like to see change for women who work in your industry?
Well, once again, a very difficult question to answer. I do think that men need to be more accepting to deal with women. I think it's quite difficult for men to actually put their ego aside and say, right, this woman actually is very educated and deals with people similar to me. I need to trust them. And so I think that we generally tend to take a few more meetings getting to know the clients just because there's that trust issue. Yeah. And so, yeah, if people could just, equality really is what it comes down to, treating women the way you would treat a male financial advisor.
Fiona, what was your word?
My word was autonomy. I want to be the owner of my thoughts, and I want to be able to broadcast them or keep them to myself, and that too would be my choice. So for me, the power of personal choice and the power of personal expression and owning it, fully owning it, I think is something that women in this country haven't been given the privilege of yet.
Now tell me how you got to autonomy. It's always interesting. There's always a story behind that. You don't just come up with autonomy. Tell me about your thought process and what's kind of happened in your life and experiences that brought you to that word?
Jennifer, it boils down to a name. Earlier you asked me how to pronounce my surname, and I was tempted to tell you it's just Fiona, because it's the only name that was given to me.
However you want to pronounce it.
Because it's not my name. I'm proud to belong to my family, and you know, it's not an insult to the way I've come from. But women throughout the ages have belonged to someone, and their stamp of ownership has been their surname. It's always been their father's name or their husband's name. And you know, when you're a woman, you have this knowledge that you don't belong to yourself, you belong to someone else. And that's why autonomy was so important for me. I go by just Fiona, because that's the name that was given to me and stamped on me. That was mine. And that ownership of what I mean to myself has been so powerful for me. So yeah, I'm a little ambivalent about any other names that I have, because that one was chosen for me and it was mine.
Shelley, what was your word?
Mine was actually safety.
Okay.
For me, it's very much about, and not just safety physically, but also safety financially, feeling safe in my own mind. So yeah, I use the word safety in terms of it relating to lots of different parts of me. And I think if you feel safe, then you feel confident, and confidence is a big part of being a woman in business. Because we are very self-critical as women, and probably
don't we all know it?
And we have this little like, you can't do it, you're not good enough, always in the back of our mind, and we have to push that away with our confidence. And I think safety and security is a big part of that. So for me, it was safety. But we had some fantastic words. You know, faith came out big. Love, friendship, family.
I think family is one we often hear women, family and balance. They can't get the right work-life balance because they always feel like they have to prove something.
Yeah. I actually had a discussion about this recently with someone, I'm not sure if it was with you, Fiona, about the word balance. And I think when you are a woman in business and you have a family, and you know, I don't think you ever do get a balance. I think it's more an integration. And it's trying to make that as healthy an integration as possible. But I think this balance word, again, is a bit like a miracle. It's not really ever going to happen completely, totally, consistently.